Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. I have terrible news for a lot of people watching this channel. You may never be able to buy a house or a home, for that matter, any kind of home in Calgary anymore. And if you're watching this video, guys, I'm going to bring some bad news for you. But before I do that, before I explain that well, I purchased a new car, 2023 RAV4. Now, I can save on gas. Anyways, that's what first reason why probably you will never buy a house in Calgary, Alberta is, number one, is people in Calgary, a lot of them, unfortunately, I don't know if you're one of them or not, let me know in the comments down below, spend too much of money. They buy expensive cars. They buy cars they cannot afford. I can afford this for cash. That's why I purchased it. I don't have to have payments on this. I sold my Honda Civic. I'm selling my Toyota Highlander now. Look at that pink limo right now. Look at that. That's how people cannot buy a house. They rent this kind of stuff. AM, PM limo. So, spending way more than earning. Oh my God, mosquitoes coming out, guys. It's almost summer here in Calgary. They will never be able to afford it because they simply cannot save up enough. Second reason for that is, before I get to the actual reason, guys, why a lot of people are not going to be able to afford it, it's going to be even more interesting for those of you who are able to save up money. Second reason is people are not making enough. You know, the salaries, the employers, they rarely review the salaries. If you've been working for one company and you've been loyal to one employer, I just want to say that you're dumb. Unfortunately, that's a very bad decision, because I joined so many companies here in Calgary where I was getting paid more than those people who were there for 10, 15 years. And I just joined. I was new, and I negotiated a better salary. Oh, there's somebody running, trying to lose weight before summer. Anyways, just like myself. So those guys who were, let this lady pass. Okay, she's gone. People don't renegotiate their salaries. They are afraid of upsetting their employers. They don't want to risk. They like to be comfortable. But the inflation rate and your salary adjustments do not correlate. I know it's a complicated word. It's a university word I used, correlation. Anyways, that means that inflation is higher than your increments in your salary. Now, you think your performance is good, you think you're making more money, but how about I tell you that the house is worth $66,000 at some point here in Calgary? How much are you making? And right now, you would be searching for a similar kind of house. You know, the ones that were in $100,000 range, you'll be probably paying $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, depending on renovations. So, how about that? But did your salary since those years go up that much? So you always have to keep on switching jobs, asking for more, renegotiating your salary. Do what I did. Get another job offer, go back to your employer and say, this is what I got. Can you match it, or I have to go there? If they can, they will all of a sudden find enough money to keep you, or unfortunately they cannot afford your services. And well, next reason would be is not saving enough. So not, you know, like, people are spending too much of money. They are not earning enough. A lot of people are not saving enough. So I would say that don't buy all sorts of nonsense. You know, going out is good, but have a limitation on that. So a lot of people are complaining to me, guys, I'm myself into real estate, so I'm a realtor with experience in Calgary, Alberta. And I want to say, before I continue this video, congratulations to Gregory, congratulations to Ivan, congratulations to Brooke, congratulations to Jeff. Those are the guys that just recently purchased their homes in Calgary that I personally helped. But I'm not going to go there. Family names or other information, because I don't want you to be able to identify them. Anyways, so you have to have enough down payment in order to be able to afford something. And well, the stress tests, the interest rates, the pre-approval budgets, everything goes down. So you have to have at least 5%. And from what I heard talking to different people working regular jobs in Calgary, they cannot save up even 5% down payment. It's very difficult. So how do you save up that kind of money? Well, guys, don't buy a car. Use public transit. Or buy a car for cash. That's what I did. You know, I bought a $3,000 cheap Toyota Echo. That was like such a bad car. It was so bad, but it did a job. and I drove it to work, and it was really good. I purchased it for $3,000 at that time. It was 2005 Toyota Echo, manual transmission. I almost got killed in that car a couple of times on ice because the tires were so bad. Anyways, I sold it for $3,200 2 years later, and yeah, it did its job. It almost didn't cost me nothing. I had third-party insurance, and I didn't really care about that car, so it was super cheap, you know. But if not that, you know, save money on insurance, cut down on subscriptions, save up money, because if you don't own real estate, you don't own nothing. I know people who have been renting. Okay, another part, guys. There are people who are okay. I'm jumping the points. You're waiting for the housing market to go down. That's another category of people. Guys, my voice still haven't recovered, so don't worry about it. I'm getting recovered a little bit. So, because weather changes. So, you know, people are waiting for the market to go down. Congratulations. I've been seeing people who are waiting for the market to go down for years now. Since I started real estate, just 2 years ago approximately. I started YouTube about 5 or 6 years ago, real estate only 2 years ago. So don't think I started YouTube because of real estate. So they waited until COVID started. They waited for a market crash. Housing market went down by over $100,000. In some places $200,000 since then. Wow! They waited. Okay. It went up pretty unreasonably, right? Maybe. So they said, we'll wait for the market to crash. Guess what happened right now? Supply and demand. We have a lot of demand, not enough of supply. Prices are again going up. They're still waiting. Their interest rates went up. Their pre-approvals went down. A lot of them are out of the game now. They want a house, but they can't afford a condo. They want to have a townhouse, but they cannot afford a townhouse. They are losing, missing out, because they're waiting. Now, wait like that for 10, 20, 30 years. Houses went up like fivefold in Calgary over 30 years, or something like that. Let's check the statistics. I just recently looked at a townhouse in Chestermere. I purchased it for $66,000 when it was built. Well, guess what the price is right now? $350,000. How about that? Okay, yeah, it went up over the years. Whoever was the owner of the property paid off their mortgage at that time. Well, not bad actually, right? It's inflation. So that comes me to the next point is people who keep waiting. The longer you wait, the less chances are you owe anything, because inflation goes up. Supply and demand. There is not enough housing in Canada. Unless the government resolves the housing shortages, you'll not be able to afford housing because there will be less supply. And there is a lot of people here who needs immigration, other things, population. So if the population keeps on growing, but the housing is not going to grow, you need a house, you need to live somewhere, right? We all do. So guess what happens? Unless that's fixed, they keep on going up. And the real estate is one of the few assets that protects your investments from inflation. I'll tell you about my house. I purchased a home about 3 years ago for, did I pay? $460,000. I could sell it right now, roughly I would say my estimate, okay, I probably could get $600,000 by now, just in 3 years, okay, maybe $590,000. Let's say I sell it for $590,000 right now, the place where I live, which was built in 1969, okay? My home where I live right now. Guys, calculate the amount. You see how much it went up? It's almost like one more family member working. That is not the housing prices that went up, it's supply and demand. That's an adjustment to inflation. So I'm happy. My mortgage is slowly getting paid off by the Airbnb in the basement that I have, slowly getting paid off, and the value went up. What would I do if I was renting right now? Invest into stocks? You see what happened to stock market? Oh, Bitcoin. You see what happened to Bitcoin? Come on, guys, let's make some videos and promote some things that fluctuate too much. That don't have land on the map, they don't have a spot on the map, and like supply and demand as well, and inflation and the government regulations, United States, situation in Ukraine, China, look what's going on. And yeah, if your asset is something virtual that has no physical value to it, this is what happened. You know, when the market is going up, everyone is happy. When the market goes down, you still need a place to live. There is also a rental income that people could be making. So this is coming to an argument. You are still thinking that renting is better. You save up money. Yeah, you saved up money, you invested into stocks. There is actually a statistical research done. Don't give you numbers right now, but you can Google it. That people who are saving money are not really good at it. You save up money, you spend it, and I encountered at least a couple of places where people, you know, they rented for past 40 years, and now the situation is they could have purchased a home at $600,000 at that time. They didn't do that. The stuff they saved up was spent for vacations, for inflation, other things. So they don't own nothing. They have nothing. They don't have any savings anymore, and they don't have a house, and they're still renting. Do you want to be like those guys? Okay, well, it's up to you. It's up to you what you do, but I'm saying that a lot of people who are watching this channel are smart, and I already mentioned a few names, and I can keep going with the list. I have a huge list of people that I know that I helped purchase a home in Calgary. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of people will not buy it now, and they'll probably never own anything in terms of real estate, and they'll not have enough savings to afford it in the future. Because once again, if something happens, if the market, if the problem is the housing is not resolved, if the supply isn't there and demand keeps on growing, guess what's happening? This is what we are seeing. So unless you jump on the train sooner, I want to tell you guys, my pre-approval, it gets tougher every year. It gets tougher. I used to be pre-approved for $750,000 when I was working, and I was making less money than I'm making right now. You know, like combined family income was less, but my pre-approval was more than I would be pre-approved right now, because they increased the stress test, because the government makes it more difficult to obtain a mortgage. I could have had a bigger house, if I could have had a newer house 5 years ago, 7 years ago here in Calgary, and it would have been valued at a higher price too. But I didn't do that, you know, and well, the more you wait, the tougher it gets, and the higher chance for younger people not to be able to afford anything. If Calgary was to turn into Toronto or Vancouver, then everyone is going to start crying. Oh, I cannot, it's too expensive, I can afford nothing. I should have thought about it sooner. So I just made this video to make you think. If you disagree with these arguments that I made, leave a comment down below. You know, guys, I'm a reasonable person. I read and I like seeing other people's opinions. So let me know. Let me know if you haven't purchased the property. Tell me your story in the past 30 years. Have you saved up a lot of money? Can you just go and buy a couple of houses for cash like this? I know people who had real estate in Toronto and just moved to Calgary, sold their house there, did a regular job. Even people who were doing barbers, you know, lower management, you know, just regular jobs. They just purchased home, and that's their entire savings. They sold it, and they can buy 3 homes here, you know, in Alberta now. I'm not saying houses, but townhouses, let's say, for cash. And now they can have 2 generating income properties fully paid off, and the 3rd one with no mortgage to live in, and plus pension. They retire, and their properties over the years also went up in value. So just think about it, guys. Let me know. I want to hear success stories of people who don't own any real estate. Героям слава! There are some Ukrainian patriots. This is so cool. How did they know I'm Ukrainian? Anyways, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Somebody said Slava Ukraini, it means glory to Ukraine, and Героям слава means glory to the heroes. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.